This is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And this is the one other thing, and this is the last of our Metacritic list show. You know, I know we only have 25 things to go through. I'm thinking there will be some duplicates so we can go faster, and if there's not, this might be a 9-hour episode. But damn it, this is going to be the last one of this list one way or the other.
Yes.
So, you know, obviously we're going to complete that list today, and I know you had a few things to talk about, and I wanted to talk to the fans about some upcoming formatting changes, maybe frequency changes. I know I'm springing some of this on you as well, because again, fans, you know, we're barely talking to each other these days because we just want to do it online.
Yeah.
So now conversations are crazy in the sense that we're just we're omitting whole topics like, ooh, I have something to talk to you about. But I'm not going to do it until we're on there.
Exactly.
So, yeah, definitely gotten weird. But before we get into any of that, once again, big thank you out there to all the fans. And I don't know if you fans can hear that or not, but we definitely have some like crazy chainsaw activity going on.
I'm not sure they can hear it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, either you can hear that and we're being hacked to pieces, or no, we're okay actually. The chainsawing's outside. But if you can hear that, I apologize across the board, guys. But that being said, we have some, upcoming changes here. And, well, I forgot where I was going. The chainsaw completely distracted me. But we're going to end that list today. But before we do any of that, Kevin. Oh, I know where I'm going. I'm sorry. Yes. I know where I was going. I want to just say thank you once again to all the fans out there. We have recently blossomed again. We seem to be going in incremental spurts here where our listener base just recently jumped. And, again, can't thank everybody enough. That is awesome. Love having you as a part of the show.
Yeah, not only is our subscriber base going up, but the people actually listening is going up, which is actually more important. So it's been exciting. I don't mean to stare at it like it's, some water boiling.
I do like I'm obsessed, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been looking and like the last few days, it's really grown quite a bit, which is very exciting.
It is exciting. And again, love having each and every one of you on board. So, welcome to the family. Welcome to the show. And, we want to hear from you. So on that note, Kevin.
Yes.
If this is my first time listening, how would I go about getting in contact with us? What do I do?
Head over to our website. That's probably the easiest place to start at would be tootcast.net. You'll see email links there for toot@tootcast.net. If you want to email us any questions, comments, encouragements, definitely appreciate it.
Love those encouragements.
And there's a new feature. The new feature is a link to a Patreon website. And the Patreon website, I put a couple tiers just to have something there, but we don't need the Patreon to continue. It'll just help. So You're definitely not required to join the Patreon, but I set up a tiering system, so the more higher tier you participate in, which means you have more of a say on the show. We'll have polling on there, we'll have exclusive content, and hopefully very soon merch.
Oh, that's excellent, actually. So,
yes.
Well, first of all, thank you once again for all your efforts here. So setting up a Patreon site for us. I actually did see a little bit of an email about that. So now our fans have a way to support us. That is awesome. Again, there's so much in the works here. It's outrageous. And, oh, look at that. Kevin's really raising things up a level. So we've got 3 tiers available. So we've got the $5 a month, the $10 a month, and the $20 a month.
So I call it the crazy tier, and I don't really expect anybody to sign up for the $20 one. I just had to put something there on the Patreon website.
It made you pick the 3 tiers. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, again, anything at all is appreciated. And, I mean, I can tell you flat out where the money's going.
Yes, right into the show.
Right into the show. Absolutely. Yes. We're not doing anything with the money until, for a very long time. We're just sinking it back into the show, and we are awesome with that. So that's cool. Thank you for those efforts with the Patreon. So how does that work exactly? I just click that link from our site, and it brings me right to where I need to be?
Yeah, it brings you right to where you need to be to sign up. And, we have some posts in there just for the site. Also, the nice feature that I've been learning about, Patreon as well, but it does a nice job of linking members to Discord. So it'll send us. So part of the features is allowing live chat, and so it links you right over to Discord. So it's kind of cool how that all works.
Well, this is excellent because this will, again, we're always evolving. I know we always talk about it. It's exciting to us. And again, having you, if you're hearing me say this, having you be part of the fold here is awesome. But one of the things we've been looking at, and by we I mean Kevin, is merchandise for certain apparel. So it's not a question of if, it's a matter of when.
Yes.
And, I know a lot of these things are months out. But also today, before today's show, I know you were showing me a little bit of your progress with video as well.
Yes.
So, again, that's really going to boost our podcast ratings when,
Yeah, I know.
when they see us.
Screw this video.
Yeah, like, okay, now we know. Let's go back to listening.
Yes.
But, again, a lot of good things coming. So I understand right now we're just, fledgling Patreon users.
Yes.
But as time goes by, we will be able to enhance those ranks.
Yes.
Meaning those tiers right now, I mean, obviously, the higher the tier, the more you're supporting us. Can't thank you enough. But at the same token, right now, from an individual perspective, if I'm the donator,
Yes.
there's not too much, aside from what's coming out of my wallet, there's not too big a difference right now between levels 1 and 3, correct?
Really? Yeah. Basically, if you look in the list I had, it's like polling, and I figured if you spend $20 a month on us, you deserve something.
Absolutely.
So something tangible, something physical, and so it's my promise that once we have something tangible, those tier 3 people will be getting stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, because we will make that right. I just don't know when, but absolutely we will give those, the support, even the likes, the simple act of clicking a like, that means the world to us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And, so something that big, it's just, it's not going to go unsung. And,
well, now that we're celebrity endorsed, we have more power to make things happen.
Well, technically, if you support us at our highest tier, you are 1 degree closer to Kevin Bacon. I'm just saying.
It's very possible, yeah.
That's one of the things we can offer. But, as we get merchandise, we can obviously expand that. I, eventually look forward to games of some kind where we can participate. And on that note, perhaps this is the first one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if we're able to do polling.
Yes.
Again, I'm treading the trail of an LLC.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I would love for anybody to tell us what the name of our LLC should be, because, we already got to name a show, which was fun as shit, and one day we'll actually talk about that. But the name of the company does not have to be the one other thing. It doesn't have to be anything even remotely similar.
Yeah.
So we kind of have carte blanche. We can write whatever we want here. And, I want to open it up to everybody. So if you have suggestions on what Kevin and I should open as our LLC, we want to hear it.
Most definitely.
I think, did I write down the...
We had 2 choices before that you kind of...
Yes, we had 2. Yours was Celebrity-Endorsed LLC. Good pick.
I like it.
I do too. And I suggested Largely Irrelevant LLC.
That works as well.
That was our first negative comment, was like, it depends. If you view that as negative, I personally concur.
Yeah.
But the comment, I think, was meant in a mean fashion. I don't think it was meant to be a positive.
Are you sure they didn't just get it right away?
Exactly.
They could be geniuses.
They might understand us thoroughly.
They're like, we get you.
Yeah, largely irrelevant. Like, I don't know what you were looking for, but the answer is 42. Right?
I think it's awesome. Yes, definitely. So, yes. So we have big plans. We've only been running this for 2.5 months.
I know, it's amazing.
It is amazing. So, I spend my weekends trying to make everything better. Get the video going, get the merchandise. I have the graphics set up, high res, ready to rock. I just need to find a good company to produce the gear.
Yeah, I have to say, your taste in company is definitely questionable at best. Because,
yes, this is true.
Here I am.
Yeah, definitely questionable.
It's awesome. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, so that was. Kevin gives me teasers now too. By the way, guys, it's even worse.
Yeah.
We got the teasers on the show, and then I got Kevin throughout the week. Like, I did something.
Yes.
I did something for our website.
Try not to punch me live on air.
Yeah, exactly. And the record, I don't think I've ever hit you in any way, shape, or form.
No, but it's weird though. But people generally meet me, want to hit me.
Actually,
it's true.
Quite the contrary.
Yeah.
Not only did I not ever hit you, I've never laid hands on you.
That's true.
I've prevented people from hitting you, now that I think about it.
Well, yeah, there was one guy, yeah.
Yeah, one guy that somehow we worked for. Boy, that was a story.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? What the hell? We got a show and we got no agenda, so, we've got to get to our list, but...
Can we say his first name?
Yeah, why not? So, Kevin and I worked the same gig. That's how Kevin and I met, and lots of stories from there. But, Kevin's in my office one day, and he talks about a manager hitting him.
Yep.
And I said, when you say hitting you, what do you mean exactly?
Punch me in the shoulder very hard.
Yep. And we can say Russ's name because
Yeah.
fuck it. And I'll never forget that because once I realized what you were saying to me, because it took my little brain a little while to comprehend that when you said he was hitting you, you meant quite physically and literally he was in fact hitting you. And I marched into Russ's office, closed the door, and I said, you will never hit another employee again. Do you understand? And he said, why? And I looked at Russ, and I had the, do I need to kick your ass right now face on? I said, do we really need to have this conversation? And he understood with a crystal clarity all of a sudden, because he said, no, we do not. Understood. And to the best of my knowledge, he never hit you again after that.
He never hit me again, but he did come. I could see him like roaring up to do it, and then you can see something like go over his eyes, and like, oh, okay, I can't do that.
Yeah, that was the Sean will kick my ass.
Yeah, he's like, he thought about his actions.
Yeah.
So, and he said no.
Yeah, because if I hit him now, I'm going to be hit repeatedly by Sean.
The best part about that story is that that is within a week of the inception of the One Other Thing, which we cannot talk about at this point. It's too early in our series.
Well, yeah, actually, we had a rule, and tell you what, I will screw the pooch because we're on episode 21.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about the One Other Thing. Here's the rule we made before we first came on, before any of you first heard our voice. There is a story to why our show is named The One Other Thing.
Yes.
And the short of it is, we're not telling it until somebody writes in and asks us what the story is.
Yes.
And furthermore, I cannot know that person. You cannot know that person, and we cannot be related to that person.
Exactly. Yes.
So all the friends and family that are like, oh my God, I want to know.
Yeah,
No.
no.
Sorry.
No.
So, yeah, if you're a listener and we don't know you, well, that's a shame. But aside
Yes.
from that, if that's top of mind for you, yeah, go ahead and ask and we'll answer. But until then, it is just going to be one of life's great mysteries. Why in the hell is this show called The One Other Thing?
But it makes sense. If you ever knew, it would make complete sense.
I will say I fucking love the name of our show.
It's hilarious. It's exactly why we're friends.
Yeah, it really is. We really are friends
Yeah.
because of The One Other Thing.
Yep.
And, yeah, boy, if that's not a teaser, I don't know what is. And, boy, if anybody out there at all loves us and doesn't know us,
Yes.
seriously, that's an engraved invitation.
It is, basically.
But anyway, believe it or not, you know what? Before we get into the list yet again,
Yes.
I'm just going to keep on doing this.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, you know, we're kind of, our last show, if you listened, it was damn near 2 hours.
Yes, that's, yeah. We can ramble on for a long time.
Well, the irony is, I mean, you see my notes. Kevin gets to see my notebook, which is comical at best, how little I have written on it. And that was one of the pages where we had the least amount of content, and yet it yielded our longest show.
Yeah, somehow we have an outline for one paragraph, and we stretch the 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems to me the less form we have, the better off we are.
Yes.
And again, it brings us closer to the essence of what I think we're trying to do, which is just, this is us.
Yeah.
This is just, you know, I would say this is just 2 dudes hanging out, but it's not. Now it's roughly, we'll say 120 people hanging out every week.
Yeah.
You know, and growing.
And growing.
And that 120 is a low number in the sense that it only represents one slice of the pie, because the way the stats on this show are tracked online are insane. You got to look 20 different places.
Yeah, plus you got to look at YouTube now, and that's a separate counter, and that's going up too. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll say 120 to keep it low, but I mean, we've got, you know, it's far more than just us. I'll say it that way. And again,
Definitely.
can't thank everybody enough. It's been a hell of a ride. This has been fantastic.
Yeah, it's just fun.
So, but we have some format changes coming up, and namely, I just sprung this on Kevin. My life right now is killing me, and this is first world problems as it gets. But honestly, I'm just stressed. I'm just spread too thin. Work is definitely taking years off of my life. Nothing to be done for it. That's how we support ourselves. But it is definitely killing me. That being said, I think we're going to have to, at least short term, for the near future, Tuesday shows, I think are going to have to go back to being bonuses, meaning, yes, we'll do them, but I can't promise every week because it's just too much.
Yeah, we'll need a good topic to talk about rather than these giant lists.
Yeah.
I'm envisioning smaller lists. like listener top 10 lists.
I'm starting to think a list of like 2 or 3 items, and that would probably be an hour for us.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If we can keep our show to an hour, it'd be a miracle.
Well, we've always said, and I pride myself on this, our shows are exactly as long as they take.
Exactly.
That's not a minute more, not a minute less.
Yep.
And then the other thing we've kicked around, and we don't really have details on this. This will be coming out over the coming weeks, but possibly taking a small break during the holidays as well.
Yep.
That's just because life gets freaking crazy around the holidays.
Yeah, which it's good because then I'll be able to focus myself personally on adding more to the show.
Well, without a doubt. And again, I don't want to leave. I can argue it 2 ways. Yeah, we all have more shit to do, but likewise, people actually have more time on their hands than they have, potentially, if it's their thing, more desire to listen to us. So it's, to me, it's, we may need to take a break, but likewise, I don't know how long we can take one because I need this. I can't go without you, buddy,
Yeah, and I definitely, maybe that's a time where I can start seeing if I can start streaming some video games, try that out on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, we got to figure that out because, there's a lot. I mean, I know right now you're working to get our show, the video aspect of it.
Because that's easier to start there.
Well, no, it makes sense, and I see people do that. But, you get into, like we talked about Ghost of Tsushima there, and that might be a great example of what I'm talking about because we're going to have to play it remotely unless we're doing the 2 TV. Yeah, that's not happening. So we're going to have to play it remotely. But if we could both be streaming, which PS4s, it's built right into it. So theoretically, we should be able to stream in some way. But how do we connect that to us?
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Google.
But, yeah, exactly. But that kind of thing, I would love to start doing that with you where, maybe that becomes our bonus shows. Instead of a list, it might be, hey, Kevin and Sean are going to play through this. Watch Kevin destroy a game and Sean stand in the corner for 3 hours because he's lost.
I paid good money to have you play through Last of Us.
To have me play through Last of Us?
Yeah, because I already played through it like 20 times. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny, actually, because my one playthrough would take about as long as your 20 playthroughs did.
Yeah.
So it would be right around the same time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That'd be a good
great.
bonus episode.
So, yeah, entirely. And you guys can, I'm just going to warn you all now. I'm just throwing this out there. I don't have a bad sense of direction. I have no sense of direction.
No sense.
It's not good, bad. It just doesn't exist.
What, you don't know which way north is right here?
Yeah, exactly. I get lost in real life. I get lost in games worse than bad. So Kevin spent way too many hours staring at me, running around in the same freaking room, trying to find where the hell the door is. Yeah. When the door was right next to me the whole time. He's witnessed it. So
I have. That was Fallout.
Yeah, exactly. You know how challenging it can be.
Yes, but Last of Us is linear. It's not an open world.
Oh, don't underestimate me.
No, this is true. But I've seen you do Tony Hawk, and you can do the flip, kick, 360, swirl, kick, knock thing, and I can't. So
it's funny because, boy, we are on a tangent. I planned on this for Thursday, but I'll get into it now. The only things I've been playing really are the new Tony Hawk, which is fucking superb. Yep. And I started getting into Need for Speed Heat, that new one I bought, which I have to say the controls are different. It does handle different than the early ones in the series, which surprised me. And it's not bad. My car's a piece of shit, and I'm working on it. But I realized I love those fucking games. And those are all, like the fighting games, they're all very... what would you say? Action-oriented. A lot of button presses going on. A lot,
yeah. You got to remember patterns and have muscle memory to do it because there's no way you can be taught how to use it, how to do the commands, and repeat it.
Oh, yeah.
Without practicing it.
Without exactly thinking, what am I going to do? Yeah. Well, you see me in like the Mortal Kombat's where I'm trying to do like a special finisher of some kind. I've got to sit there and look it up and like pause it right before I kill you because what do I got to do?
Yeah. Yeah, no. So what's the, the friendship move?
Yeah, exactly. What do I got to do? Where do I got to be standing?
Exactly.
But,
you digress.
That's funny. I digress. But yeah, I was thinking about that though, where I do tend to gravitate towards these action-y games, which kind of surprised me. To be honest with you.
I do like some action in games, just ones I'm good at.
Well, it's funny because I do like me a good RPG too, because I'll tell you, after a couple hours of Tony Hawk, maybe I'm just fucking old, but my hands are sore. I'm like, okay, I can't play that anymore. Like, even if I want to, I'm just like, I can't. Like, no. Yeah. My hands are tired. I'm tired of pressing that many buttons.
Arthritis.
Yeah, exactly. It's not quite there yet, but... And since we're on a tangent, I'm going to throw this one out there. I thought it was arthritis, but my hands used to ache so much in the winter. They just hurt all the time.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law turned me onto this cherry pill extract or cherry extract pills.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. It's tart cherry extract to be exact.
Yep.
They're like fucking magic. I'm not kidding. I haven't even taken them. I haven't taken them all summer. I'll probably start again. But I pop 2 of these things a day, and I'm not kidding. Within like 2 days, it just stopped hurting.
Oh.
And all winter long, my hands just didn't ache. I was just amazed by it. I was like, my God, I have no idea how that's working, but it's working.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, tart cherry extract. But, beyond everything, though, this is a show about a list. So what the hell, buddy? You want to talk about a list?
Not bad. 20 minutes in, we can start talking about the list.
Yeah, sooner or later, I figured we'd get there. We only got 25. Now, the real question is, I don't know, did we do 25 or did we not?
We did definitely spoke about Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
We definitely spoke about
All right. Well, either way, 25 on the Wii U is Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. We've talked about it before. We endorse Zelda. Zelda's...
Yes. All things Zelda.
If there's a bad Zelda game, I have not played it. I'm sure it's there, but I haven't played it.
Number 24. I need some sound effects eventually.
On the PC.
On the PC. I think we spoke about other Grand Theft Autos. I think it's the first time Grand Theft Auto 5 has been on the list.
I agree. And all I can say about this game is the maybe hour I put into it was fucking awesome. I have no idea why I didn't go back.
Yeah, it's a great game. And I played it. And I played it. I think I played it longer than you because there's like 3 different storylines that are. And I made it to the second character.
I did not make it to the second character, I don't think.
But then I got distracted, as in I always do in Grand Theft Auto, and I started just driving my car everywhere.
Well, I've got it installed right now, and I will say this, it takes fucking ever to load.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, Rockstar seems to do any Rockstar game just somehow just let me take it forever.
I'm telling you, dude, if you miss loading screens after the PS5, I'm just going to tell you buy a fucking book. I am not going to miss. I'm not kidding. There are times where I don't even want to play Tony Hawk right now because I'm like, God damn, this game would be so much better without loading screens.
Yeah, those screens are really long. You could replace the hard drive. Not that it's probably too late now, but if you replace it with a solid state hard drive, you could help it. Not as much as you would think because it's not designed to help it.
Yeah.
But it will take some few seconds off the loading screens.
It's not worth the effort, especially
at this point. If it was, did it like a year ago, maybe.
I'll say it this way: I'm probably buying a PS5 in spring, is my guess.
Yeah.
Because Sony underproduced from the sounds of it. I read that today.
I signed up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I signed. There was a page.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you about it, but there's a page. I don't even know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
But it says if you sign up here, you'll be on our notification list.
Yeah.
I was on the PSN website, so I did it. I didn't really get a notification that I did it, so I'm not even sure it's going to work. But I signed up to get the notification.
I'm not terribly worried about it. Like, I'm not going to die if I don't have it the first 6 months. I couldn't give less of a shit, to be honest with you.
I'm going to try to get it if I can, just so I can stream either with the PS4 or the PS5 and have another device that I can use to stream content. That's the only reason I really want a PS5 right now, because I could take the PS4 and bring it around and set it closer to my PC and stream with it.
I'll do what I typically do, which is see what you do and then call you over and have you set it up the same way.
Yes. So that's basically, and hey, I might stream older games too. So I might hook up one of my Xbox 360s and stream those games.
I love your older games. Yeah.
Yeah, those are my older games from 2007.
I might play my old PS4 games.
Yes. People still want that kind of content on the YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
The older games.
Oh, yeah. I just love that what you call an older game.
Yeah.
When I say an older game, I literally mean it came out in the 80s.
Oh, that's classic.
Now, that is fucking awesome, dude. That makes me so happy. Those are classic rock video games.
Those are classic games from the 80s. I'm sorry. Older games are like oldies,
Oh, that is fantastic. That just made my day.
Yeah, don't peek into my brain because you'll get lost.
That is great. Yeah, so I like the Golden Oldies video games, and
they actually made them. They're gold boxes.
And
just
then,
to let you know.
Yeah, that's right. So the 80s are Golden Oldies. That makes the 90s classic rock, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that is great. I love this. And
that's wrong with me.
So, yeah, Golden Oldie video games are 80s, 90s classic, and then we get into, I guess, pop and just contemporary with the current day, but goddamn, that's funny.
Yeah, so that's how I view it. That's how my brain works.
Oh, and that was me this time, Mike. That hit the mic right there. I did it. Damn it. Yep. I was just happy you were first.
Yes, I was first.
Number 23, also for the PC.
Yes.
Is
Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
And you would have heard us speak about this in great length on one of our previous lists because that was on there.
Without a doubt. I mean, it's, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great game. Definitely play it if you've never played it. And fortunately, I know that Valve has put out like a if you own this game, they have like a free like upgrade to the graphics.
Okay.
So they put a little mod version that you can get for free that'll lay on top of this.
Whenever I played it, it looked fucking beautiful.
It is a beautiful game, but it can look slightly better.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind too, again under the heading of golden oldies and classic rock and whatnot, my expectations for graphics are not anywhere near what yours are. My expectations for gameplay are through the roof, but graphics I could take or leave.
Water must look real in every game I play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and for me, it's as long as the gameplay's there, I'll figure it out. But like the Gods of War, though, that's a beautiful fucking game. I mean. The Elder Scrolls, like you said, where I did find myself doing what you do, where you just get to a part and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to kind of look around for a bit.
Yeah.
It's just pretty.
It would ruin me if they ever released Death Stranding in VR, because the game would suck you into it. Just the fact that you can... And in fact, I'm not sure
why they don't.
I don't know why. It should be pretty easy to do. And I'm telling you, any game that's like a Skyrim, kind of like mountainous kind of video game, that you can drive a car in or something in a VR, will blow my mind. And there's not really anything like that yet.
Do you know anything about when next gen VR is coming out?
It's the problem. They have to keep up with the hardware. So right now we're pretty much at the max of what the current gen could do. So that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting for the hardware to catch up because they can't push the frames per second with the current graphics cards. Okay. But everything you're reading, the new NVIDIA.
We got a new line of graphics cards right on the
corner. So that means probably next year we might get a next gen, and you know me, I'll buy it.
You'll be all over it, yeah.
Because I already have 3 headsets.
I'm waiting for. I don't even know what I'm waiting for at this point. I'm waiting for it to either come to a really cheap price point, it to get the porn attachments to where now I have to buy it, or basically at this rate, if I just wait long enough, you'll give me 3 of them so I don't have to worry.
Yeah, at some point I probably won't need these lighthouses that I have anymore because all 3 headsets you need the lighthouses for. But unfortunately, you can't give the headsets to somebody because to buy brand new lighthouses costs the same as buying the whole kit. So it was really...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was never worth giving you the headset because you got to pretty much spend all the money anyways.
You have to buy it all outright anyway.
But the day I don't need these lighthouses anymore, I got some spare headsets.
Well, see, that's the beauty of it is, I don't need to. I didn't know this, but when we became friends, I pretty much signed up to never have to buy anything again. If I just wait, they'll come out with a new model. You'll hate it, and you'll hate that you don't have the latest model. Right. And then you'll go out and buy it immediately.
Yeah, I've had a problem with that. And I have cleaned my basement. I'll never forget when I cleaned up my basement one time and started selling all my old tech in a garage sale. And my wife had a whole bunch of stuff. And she's haggling over $2 or $3. This guy came and saw my technology. Goes, "I'll give you $100 for all of it." I'm like, "Take it." Nice. And I made $100. You know what Charlie used to make? Like $10.
Yeah, exactly. And she worked 12 times harder.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going in.
Yep. All my shit's gone.
All my shit's gone.
I'm out.
Yep, I'm out.
Yep. And I'm not kidding, folks, by the way, because I don't even know how it came up, but I was thinking about getting a surround sound system for my house. Yeah. And, for my den. And
you just mentioned it, I think.
Yeah, I probably just said, "Hey, do you know anything about it?" Because, again, I just consult with you over all electronics. Yeah. And you're like, "Yeah, I've got one I can give you." Yeah. Next thing you know, I've got surround sound.
Actually, yeah, it was kind of a big deal when I got it because it was the Logitech one that came with. They sold it like the same time as Xbox 360 came out. Okay, yeah. So it was like, it was cheap. It was like $200 or maybe $300. I doubt it. It's probably closer to $250 when it came out, and it had the full Logitech synchronizer where you like put the speaker on one side of that and it'll auto equalize everything to it.
I still haven't done that, but yeah, I know what you.
Yeah, if you really wanted all the surround sound to sound where it should be, you can actually do that with the remote.
I'm not certain I'd notice. I mean, believe me, it does. I mean, it's surround sound. There's no question. Like, things travel through the room, and they come from certain sides of the room, but I don't think we're that discerning. Yeah,
and basically the only reason why I ever changed it was because I needed more connections on the receiver. That's it.
You know what? Actually, that's the one weird thing I see, and I don't know if it's... I don't know what it is, but sometimes we'll start a show,
Yeah.
And within 30 seconds, there's no audio. And you just need to pay attention when it happens. Like, if you're watching a show and it's just really quiet, you realize, oh, shit, it did it. And I have no idea why. It makes no sense. But if you just stop the show and start it again, it's fine.
Oh.
It's like somehow the audio signal getting sent to the surround sound gets corrupted in some way, it seems. And it's just like, oh, that's like complicated.
It's possible it's not handling the compression from like Netflix or something where it's like, oh, I got an audio pack I don't understand. I give up.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And then if you just tell it, no, seriously, dude, that's audio. It's like, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, I think it's just the age. You can't upgrade the firmware of it.
Entirely not a problem at all. But I mean, I bring this up anyway to illustrate that you give away just shit normal people don't give away.
Yes. And that is actually not the first receiver I've given away.
I believe that.
Yeah, I gave one to a coworker. The one I purchased after that one, I hated it, so I gave it away. Then I purchased one I have now, which is a Yamaha with Polk audio speakers. I need something better.
Yeah, you went top of the line, so that'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, boy.
Number 22.
Yeah, we're doing a list.
Yes.
If you can believe it. For the Dreamcast.
Yeah, the Dreamcast. Oh, the Dreamcast. Yeah. NFL 2K1. Yeah, I've said this before, and I don't want to say too much about football games, but they had the controller where you can call your plays on the controller because it's a little mini screen, which usually you can kind of like predict like, oh, he's definitely going to do a shotgun or a wide to the right or something, because you see like 3 choices generally. But no, when you have the Dreamcast, nothing on the screen.
Yep.
So your play calling is totally a surprise to the other player.
It makes sense anyway.
It didn't matter to me because I had no friends. I was playing against the computer, so it had no effect.
Dude, I played Tecmo. There were only 4 plays. Actually, there were 8, but 4 of them were run plays, and you knew I wasn't fucking doing that. Yep. So there were down to 4 plays I could possibly pick. And honestly, if I was those Atlanta Falcons with Andre Rison, it didn't matter. I don't care if you blitz me. I'm still going to pass to him, and he's still going to catch it, and he's still going to get a touchdown.
Yes.
Because Andre Rison. That's why, folks.
That's awesome. Number 21, Halo, Combat Evolved. And on the original Xbox. And it was a big deal.
It really was.
It came out.
Like, actually, you know what? For me, it was the Batman movie is what I call it. Do you remember the Batman movie Michael Keaton had so much hype when it came out that people were bummed when they went to go see it because it just wasn't worthy of all the hype.
Yeah.
I think that was Halo for me. Yeah. It was not that it was bad. It's not that I disliked it. It's just there was so much hype to it, and I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah. It did change a lot of things at the time and made things better and made because the controller wasn't very good at shooters at the time. Mm-hmm. And so they really, even though it definitely is not the best Halo game, it did start something new. And the multiplayer was great. The multiplayer is what really helped make the game good.
I didn't play it.
Not modern multiplayer.
Well,
it just crashes.
I didn't play it till it ported to the PC, to be honest.
Yeah, when you played it back then, you could do split screen, on the same Xbox.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
And that's awesome. And then, I don't know if it was the first game, but I think it's one of the early games where as long as one of you stayed alive, you just kept going. And the other person, as soon as the enemies were killed, the other person would regenerate, and you just keep going. And because of that, and I think it was pretty new of just regenerating by hiding in cover.
I think that was a new dynamic for me, at least. That was the first time I saw it was Halo.
So they started. So they deserve credit for starting a new way of playing games, which now everybody beat it to death, and it's not as cool anymore.
I give props though to like Tony Hawk just came out and it has the split screen option still, and I give mad props for that. In fact, I'm actually thinking of putting the Nintendo 64 in regular rotation. Just plugging that thing in and keeping it there because that system is so much fun for just that reason. Yeah,
because a lot of games have gotten away from the split screen, and which doesn't make sense to me. Back in the old days when TV screens were 19 inches,
I know.
And split screen you had to go. Now they're like giant 55, 60 inch screens. Split screen makes more sense if you ask me. You can actually see your whole screen.
I saw a meme, and you might have seen this. It was fucking genius if you ask me. But it's 2 brothers playing a shooter on their TV, and it's split screen, and it's, to your point, a gigantic TV. But what they did was fucking genius because it was top-bottom split screen. So one player's on top, one's on the bottom.
Yeah.
They basically made a divider with a piece of cardboard. And so the one little brother sat underneath it, and all he saw was the bottom screen, and the other brother was like the bigger, and he could see over it.
Yeah.
And so all he saw was the top screen, and I'm like, boy, that's fucking genius.
That is genius.
So they could, but not even nowadays. and I know this is crazy for rich Americans to think about, but the idea of gaming is largely that, to your point, actually, it's largely because we had no friends, but multiplayer gaming, you need people.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, you may not have an internet connection, or it just may not be conducive, or this is really crazy in days of pandemic, but you might actually physically be in the same location as your friend.
Yes.
In which case, you want a way to be able to play against each other or with each other. And, you know, I just, I've always been a fan of anything that allows for local play.
Yeah.
You know, when it's multiplayer. So, anyway.
So anything. I thought Mario was going to be the next one, but Mario Kart, but it's not.
No, but you played this, I think. Number 20 for the Switch is Super Mario Odyssey.
Yes, I have played about an hour and a half of it, and I need to go back because it's taken everything that was ever good about Super Mario Brothers and just made it like 10 times better.
Nice.
It's got to be one of the best versions of Super Mario Brothers ever because, you know, for example, the mechanics, it's just so smooth to play. You got his hat. When you throw it on different characters, you gain their powers.
Yep.
So it's well done, and I know from watching trailers that there's a portion of the game where all of a sudden you go into the 2D world for part of the levels, and you're playing the old-fashioned on a 3D wall, which is kind of weird. But I've seen that in some trailers.
Oh, that's not neat.
So they got a lot of throwbacks to the original game. So it seems really fun.
I don't think I've played a Mario since Mario 3, and there's probably been like 30 of them since then. But as I recall, Mario was, he's Mario.
Yeah,
What's
so
not to like?
I do plan on playing it. I need time.
Boy, man, what a showing, huh?
Yeah, I think this is a repeat on a different system. So this is 19 is...
It's Grand Theft Auto 3, but I don't know if there's a repeat.
I think there was a pack that had Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City.
Oh, it is. God damn, you're sharp. You're right.
So we already spoke about this, and yeah, I can see why people like Grand Theft Auto 3, 97 Metacritic, because it's one who started the 3D version of it.
I had a shit ton of fun with the over the head, the overview, the original GTA 1 and 2. Tons of fun running people over, but this just...
Yeah.
It's amazing, seriously. If you haven't tried it, Grand Theft Auto, I mean, from what I understand, San Andreas is the best. I've not played it, but that's what the ratings say. But any one of those, 3 right on through 5, they're all just variants of the same engine, but it's real world. You can run around, steal cars, run people over, do missions if you want to, but trust me on the stealing cars and running people over.
Yeah. And I think there was some controversy when this came out, this particular version, because I think a lot of parents didn't like the fact that you beat up the hookers. And
you could solicit their services, regain your health, and then beat them up and get your money back.
Yeah, so that, I think, caused some problems with some parents.
That was so wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what?
It actually, is tame nowadays.
I just like to throw a few things out there. First of all, you know what the problem is? You're shitty parents. Yeah, these things are sold for adults. Fucking be a parent. That's the problem. The problem isn't the game. The problem is you're a shitty parent. Fucking pay attention to what your kids are doing. And if you see them watching X-rated movies, you might want to take that away from them. Same thing with video games. Be a fucking parent.
Yep.
You know, it's not Rockstar's job to raise your kids.
No, pretty sure in the box they said you have to be 18 or older to play it.
Absolutely. So the problem's never been the games. It's a lack of parenting. It always has been. I mean... It goes back to, we grew up, it was music, you know? Yeah. Because the games weren't capable then of, you know, you could decapitate the red square, nobody gave a shit. Yeah. You know, no parents got up in arms. But, you know, for us it was the music. Like, oh, you can't listen to that because then you become a Satanist. And whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, censorship is something that one day we're going to have to talk about. But,
yeah, I'll never forget... My grandmother, God rest her soul, had given me a list every year of all the music I wasn't allowed to listen to. And one of them on there was AC/DC.
Wait.
Oh, did I just...
Scratch the record.
Did I just...
back that up and let's say it slowly. Yes.
Yeah,
every year your grandmother would give you a list. And first of all, was this list provided randomly or was there no music day? Like what? Was it Footloose Day?
Every now and again she would hand it to me if she probably thought I was on the wrong path or something.
You were. Actually, musically, I can tell you entirely were on the wrong path and her interventions were not enough. But okay, so now you had this adult figure.
Yes.
Periodically giving you a list of what not to listen to. Correct. Now, you do know every fucking red-blooded American boy that I know of.
Would love that list just so to collect everything on it.
Would
Collect them all.
immediately like, oh, thank you for the playlist, Grandma.
Yep.
That would basically be it,
Yep.
because we'd go and immediately, I would immediately seek out everything that she listed.
Yep.
And I'm guessing you did not, because you are not made of that cloth.
I'd never even known the music, so I didn't even care.
Oh, that's great.
So I didn't even look at the list. But I do remember AC/DC being on that list because they would list reasons why you shouldn't listen to them, because AC/DC stood for the obvious, Antichrist, Devil Child. And because it stood for that, it was definitely evil.
That is
And the reason why that's funny is because if they only knew the real reason it's called AC/DC, it was so innocuous because...
I have no idea whether, I'm presuming alternating and direct, but...
It was because it was written on the back of a sewing machine, and I think it's Angus Young or whatever, his mom was a sewing machine, has AC/DC written on the side of it, like, oh, let's call our band that.
Oh, nice.
It's literally a sewing machine.
Well, you know why he wears that outfit, don't you?
What, the schoolboy outfit? Yeah. What?
Do you know why he does that? I actually know the reason.
Yeah, I don't know that reason.
Because
I know the sewing machine.
He basically, that was the outfit he had to wear to go to school, and he didn't have time to change between school and practice. So he just went to practice and, I'm wearing my schoolboy. And then he's like, fuck it.
That's awesome.
Because you guarantee somebody busted his balls, and he's like, you know what? I can fucking rock out on this guitar, so who cares?
Yeah, I wish I would have known back then. I would have said, it's just a sewing machine, Grandma.
Antichrist, Devil Child. Do you remember anything else you weren't allowed to listen to?
Dev Metallica was on there.
I wish I had that list.
Yeah.
I wish. And there was more than one of these lists.
Oh, yeah. And, top 10 lists of, that the church, I think, handed out. So don't you tell your kids not to listen to these. Yeah.
That is amazing.
I grew up in Ohio.
I remember I couldn't buy a Two Live Crew album when I was 14, so I managed to con somebody into doing it for me, and I believe the name of that album was We Want Some Pussy.
Oh.
So it was pretty on the nose that this was not for children, but honestly, those parental advisory labels, that was like a guide for me.
Yeah.
That was like a Zagat guide as a kid for music. Like if it didn't have that, you didn't bother.
Look for the one with the sticker on
it. If my parents are opposed, this must be good music.
That's awesome.
That is amazing. So no AC/DC, no Metallica.
No, I never listened to
Antichrist, Devil Child. That is fucking wonderful.
Yeah, but there was a whole list, but that just stuck with me.
I always think of Slayer, Satan Laughs as You Eternally Rot, which I don't know if that's what Slayer stands for. I doubt it very much because that's pretty convoluted.
Yeah.
Or Kids in Satan's Service. But, it's just funny how, everybody's running around thinking everybody's worshiping the devil, and it's just madness.
Yeah, I know. And it's really not that bad to worship the devil. He just, wants what's best for you.
That's a whole nother. We're gonna lose what few fans we have, but
we're not Satanists.
I'm not a Satanist, but I'm gonna go this route real quick because this one boggles my mind.
Yeah.
So, the Christian God, I'll go with. Best I can tell, a few major religions kind of trace back to this one burning bush who basically said, "Hey, fuckers, you guys aren't that bright, so I'm gonna give you a few rules. I'm gonna keep them real basic though, because you're not that sharp." Rule number 1. I am thy Lord God, thou shalt put no other before me. So, rule number 1 is basically, I'm your God. That's it. Anything else is a false idol.
Yeah.
How the fuck is Jesus Christ not a false idol?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that was in the third stone tablet that Mel Gibson dropped.
Mel Gibson dropped, exactly. But, it's not my fable, but god damn it, it seems to me that, you believe in this God, he gives you 10 simple rules, you fuck them all up. You can't do one of them.
Yeah.
So if that's your belief, then the Son of God, Jesus, comes along to try and, best I can tell, he's got to suffer because you guys are such fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And what does he say? He's like, you know what? 10 rules was too much for you idiots. Tell you what, I got one rule for you. Love one another.
Yeah.
And we can't do that either. We fucked that all.
No, all screwed up. All sorts of screwed up.
It confounds me, but I apologize to those that I've offended because I'm certain you're out there, but I just don't understand how it works. And I can definitely get behind the love one another, and I'll be honest, I don't give a shit who your God is.
Yeah. Well, imagine there's no countries.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
That was for you.
Yeah, that was just it. Oh my God, you are the Antichrist.
I am. I should have been on the list.
Anyway.
I'll let you do number 18.
Number 18 is Metroid Prime for the GameCube, and I have not played any of the Metroid Prime series.
I've seen gameplay.
They're neat concept. I don't know how the gameplay worked out, but I mean, it's basically making Metroid a first-person shooter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I
which
think so.
Seems pretty fucking neat.
Yeah. Number 17, GTA 5. That's right out. Skip.
Yep, PS4 this time. Boy, we're gonna burn through this quick. So number 16 is Red Dead Redemption. Even
Say that
number
3 times
2. I can't say
Number
it
2.
once. Slowly.
Number 2, yes. And I did purchase the PS4, and I played about an hour of it, and then I purchased the PC version 9 months later, wherever the hell it came out.
That's
And that's the
amazing to
version I
me.
was playing.
And I still haven't played it because it's too damn cheap even when it goes on, or it's too expensive even when it goes on sale.
Yeah, it's basically a Grand Theft Auto with a horse.
Oh, that's part of the reason too I haven't played it is because I know, well, one, it's expensive, but two, I know, one, I'd go PC for certain, but two, I know I'm going to be in there for a long time.
It's a large game. I think, how long to beat on this one? How long?
Oh yeah, that's going to be like 100 plus easy, I'd say. And completionist might be the rest of your life.
60 hours.
60 hours to play through?
Yeah.
Yep. And that's not the completionist or anything. That's just playing through. Yeah.
Let's see what they say in the completionist. So it's not too bad. If you're rushing and doing 33 hours, about 65 hours leisurely. Completionist, 265 hours.
Jesus, that's a big game.
Yeah, that's why it's intimidating because I'm not that's a lot of time to spend.
Oh yeah.
Maybe over the winter break.
And I get the impression you will be sucked in. Like you will have no problem spending that time. It's just time you won't get back and time you can't spend on something else.
I just remember last time I played it, I was trying to get the best boots and then the outfit, the right color for an entire day.
Oh, that's great.
There's a lot of effort.
It's very important to have the right colored boots.
It needs to be right. Yeah.
The other cowboys will make fun of
And
you.
engraving my guns and putting special features. And there's a bunch of cool features.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's definitely a large part of the game.
Yeah, it's no surprise considering how this show's going that, we get wrapped up in these little side things and, you forget there's a game involved. Like, I'm doing something.
There's a game. And it's definitely one of those games that, you forget.
Well, number 15, I played these shit right out of. Have you ever played this?
I think I've never played it.
Okay.
But I have seen a screenshot or two of it.
Well, the
so
game
I kind of
is
know what it looks like.
Perfect Dark for the N64. A couple of things about this. If memory serves, you needed the N64 was weird on so many levels, but they sold this memory expansion for the 64.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you needed that in order to be able to play this game. There were only a few games that actually even used it, but you needed that expansion to be able to play Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark was built on the... it was made by Rare. It was... Look at me knowing a thing or two, by the way. I'm not reading anything, by the way. This is literally off of memory. It was made by Rare, and it was basically the sequel to GoldenEye.
Oh, okay.
That's, what makes it special. It says that same engine, just a beefed up version of it.
Right. And that's why you need the expansion pack, as I called it.
It was... Well, me personally, nowhere near GoldenEye as far as... I played the shit out of GoldenEye. I did not play this one as much, single player. Multiplayer, however, that's where that shined because it introduced bots.
Oh, yeah.
So now, GoldenEye, you played multiplayer and you had a ton of fun, but if your friends weren't around, you were playing single player basically. You were not multiplayer. Here for the first time, you could, on a 64, go in and use bots. Know what I mean on the first time on a 64.
Yes.
But
now I'm looking it up. It's pretty cool.
yeah, I mean it was neat. The other thing it had that was I thought neat, and I think it was the first time I saw it. It had a gun with an infrared scope that allowed you to shoot through walls.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And that was pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed it, but I would have played it.
I think you postponed it. Like I said, I'm really getting into my 64 lately.
Yeah, well, it came out in 2000, and that's about when I was born. You know,
that's when you came to. Well, I'm just saying that because I may or may not have. I don't even know how many games I have for the 64, but quite a few. I may actually have Perfect Dark, but either way, we'll be playing more 64 in the future.
Okay. I have to let you take number 14.
Yeah, number 14, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 for the PS2. I've played all of them, and boy, I got to admit that 5 for the PS4 is by far the shittiest in the series. And the funny thing is, I cannot articulate why it's the shittiest in the series. It just entirely is, and it feels it, and I swear by that assessment. Tony Hawk's. I love all of them. They're a ton of fun. I don't remember what specifically made 3 any better than anyone else. But it doesn't matter now anyway because this list is now wrong because 1 and 2 would be. I think, by the way, I think the 1 and 2 remake is one of the top-selling PS4 games of all time now, already.
Oh, really?
And it's been out like 2 weeks.
Jeez, that's awesome.
It's everything it should be. It's one of those few times where you see somebody make a remake and you're like, yeah, you fucking nailed it. The only bitch I have about the game is it has a level system, and it's stupid. It's basically broken. You would need to play so much to get to level 100. It's pretty much, they make it so it's ridiculous to achieve. You can do it, but it's annoying.
It looks like people's biggest complaints about number 5 was its physics was broken.
Okay.
Frame rate's terrible. Multiplayer pretty much useless. And definitely not worth the pre-order for many people. This is glitchy as hell.
Yeah, it just doesn't, you know what, for me, how I would describe it, it's just not as much fun.
Yeah. So it looks like they just basically try to make a buck and really didn't put enough time into it.
Well, I bought Tony Hawk 5 with the PS4 because, I mean, the Tony Hawk games are that good that I just buy them. Yeah. Like when I decided I was buying the PS4 for Final Fantasy VII Remake, I said, fuck it, I'll just buy whatever Tony Hawk game they have.
Yeah, they broke it.
But when I play 1 and 2, the remake, I'm reminded of why I love this game.
Yeah.
When I play 5, I'm not.
Yeah, it's got a 1.5 Metacritic user score. Nobody likes the game.
I can literally say I've played more of 1 and 2 than I have 5 already.
Yeah.
And it's only been out a couple weeks. So.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. If you like skateboarding games, you're going to love this. If you've ever skateboarded, you're going to love this. If that's not your jam, you're probably not going to dig it.
Yeah.
You might. I don't know.
I like the game, but I know I'll never be good at it.
I know it hurts a lot less than real skateboarding.
That's awesome.
I will say that.
All right, number 13.
Again.
This is, the last one I believe is on the Wii U. This is higher on the list, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Switch.
I'd be so fucking pissed if I bought a Wii U.
Yeah, that was people were burned on that.
Yeah.
People were burned.
I'm telling you, Nintendo does not deserve to be in business.
I don't know how they do it.
They make like the worst business decisions I've ever heard of, and yet here they are.
I think the same thing kind of happens with Apple. Because I think they make bad business decisions, yet people like, oh, it's a street cred, I got Apple kind of thing. And I'm saying this as a giant Apple fan. Sean is not. I am. It's crazy.
I actually have nothing against apples. Well, I have 2 things against apples, but one, I love to bust Apple people's balls because there's a ton of you out there.
There's people that are sensitive about it. I'm not.
Exactly.
I get mad at them just like everybody else.
That's why I bust their balls because they're like a fucking cult.
Yeah.
Like they're irrationally upset when I talk shit about Apple, and I honestly couldn't give. I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
I just talk shit to get people.
It's like that
riled.
scene in Clerks 2 where that nerd guy puked in the middle of the restaurant. If you haven't seen that scene, you should. He just made him puke by making fun of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's
all
fantastic.
they did was walk.
Yeah.
3 movies, and they walked.
And they walked.
Yes.
It's not far off the mark, to be honest with you. But yeah, I just do it because Apple people get so upset sometimes. So it's I couldn't care less. But I have trouble using Apple products, and it's because I've been indoctrinated by a different cult, the cult of Bill and Melinda, because things are so simple on an Apple that I literally cannot figure them out.
Yeah. Well, they try to help you too, so which can make it confusing.
It makes it. I can't figure. I mean, I was trying to install an app that one day, and you're like, just drag it over to your applications folder. I'm like, great. Now what?
Yeah.
And you're like, there's no now what? Now double click it. I mean, you're done. I'm like, fuck.
That's it.
What voodoo is this?
That's because it puts all the DLLs and the libraries right in the application.
I've been conditioned to where no, it can't be that easy, or it won't work.
You know, the worst part is the application. This is going to blow your mind. The application you're looking at is just a directory filled with more files. If you right click and say show contents. It's just like going to an installation directory on a Windows machine. It's like 500 files inside of it.
And it just knows to grab the executable.
Yeah, because there's a descriptor file that says, okay, if you double click at this icon, this is what you launch.
So it's basically a bat file, just a modern day.
Basically, yeah. So you basically copy over the program that has the shortcut built into it.
Batch automation tool? Is that what a bat file is?
A bat file? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, batch scripting. I don't know. I just lost my nerd credit.
Yeah, I just made some shit up, and mine sounded way more plausible than yours.
I think it just stands for batch file. A bat file is a DOS batch file. So
Okay.
it's a script.
I've just been in the industry too fucking long. I see 3 letters. I'm like, it must stand for something.
Must stand for something. GIF. Anyway.
I actually agree to this wholeheartedly. So number 12 is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on the Dreamcast.
Oh, so it's higher on the list. And yeah, the Dreamcast, I've read during that era, there's pros and cons about all the systems that are out. And Dreamcast did some shading better than...
Dreamcast looked a lot better than all the others. And I mean a lot better. It wasn't close. It looked better. Tony Hawk... I'm going to nerd it the fuck out on this one for a second.
Yeah.
The first Tony Hawk was great because it was the first. It brought us something we didn't have before, and hooray, a new style of game, new type of gameplay. But it did not have things that Tony Hawk 2 did. Tony Hawk introduced reverts and manuals.
Yeah.
And I know I'm geeking out on you, but basically, long story short, the game's all about getting combos, making like super big points. And manuals are a way you connect tricks together. Same with reverts. It let you take tricks that were previously just a trick unto itself, and it let you connect them into these gigantic combos. Yeah. And that's how you do all this stupid shit, and you get all these crazy scores, is because you're connecting all these tricks. And, Kevin and I played the latest one recently, and I explained to him what makes the game fun is the greed. And that's what I call it, because you start getting good at the game, and you start connecting combos, and you see your points going up. And you could just stop and get that score, but you also know if I do one more trick, it's going to multiply my score even more, and eventually you end up falling, not because you didn't do the combo right, because you just went too far with it. You just got too damn greedy, and it's always a fine line. Like that next trick, do I do it or is that being greedy? And it's hard. It's hard to wrestle with that beast, and you will get too greedy, and you will fall because of it, and you will lose all those points you could have had. And, all the Tony Hawks deal with that. So Tony Hawk 2, though, again, introducing those manuals and those reverts. Love the locales as well, but nowadays I wouldn't recommend 1 or 2 when you can buy them both remastered on the PS4. Yeah. Or the PC or anything else. I think that's on all systems.
I'm pretty sure it's on the PC as well.
It is definitely on the PC. I just don't know about Xbox, but I gotta presume it's on the Xbox, too.
It's most likely. Oh, well.
Wow.
Here we go. They number 11... GTA 5 for the Xbox 360. They actually released on that system as well. I don't know why it's higher on the list. I believe the graphics was a little bit downgraded, but I guess people didn't care.
No, again, like that's not a fair fight. You can't compare. You can compare 360 to PS4. You can't compare 360 to PC.
No, you
or
can't.
PS4 to PC. They lose.
Yeah.
If not now, they will.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Wow. This list is going to go real quick because number 10 is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, for the PS3.
Oh,
no.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Number 9 is Grand Theft Auto 5.
For the Xbox One.
Okay, let's just stop here for a second, guys.
I think Rockstar just has this corner marked it.
If
top 10 here.
You know what? If you somehow never played a Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah.
Just YouTube Grand Theft Auto 3, 4, 5, any of those, take a peek. If it looks even mildly amusing to you, go buy the cheapest one you can, 3 on up.
Yeah.
And you'll know within probably 15 minutes of play whether you just wasted that $10 or that was the best investment you ever made. And I'll be honest, it's probably the best investment you ever made.
That's awesome.
They're great games. They really are. I mean, that's one of those, it's like shooting you in Unreal. If it gets old, I haven't hit that point yet.
I can definitely always play. Looks like GTA 3 is $10 on Steam right now.
Yeah, $10.
And it looks like $29 will net you 3 San Andreas and Vice City. But I'm telling you, there's going to be a sale because I'm pretty sure I paid like $10 for all of them.
You can get, if it's $29, first of all, that's that triple bundle for $30. That's entirely a great deal. Without a sale, that is a phenomenal deal. You are not getting ripped off. That being said, you're entirely right, Kevin. There will be sales, and that'll probably go down to like $10 or $15. And it's just for that kind of money. If you spent $15 on those 3 games, or honestly, if you spent the $30, you didn't get ripped off.
Yeah,
there's a lot of gameplay there.
So 11, 10, and 9 were all GTA 5. 8 was Red Dead Redemption. Oh, number 7 is finally a different game.
Oh, yeah, well, Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Xbox One was number 8. So number 7, though, for the Wii is, what do we got here?
Super Mario Galaxy 2.
I have not played it, but people, I mean, this is Mario once again. I'm pretty certain the Super Mario Galaxies are Mario games.
Definitely.
Like Mario being Mario, doing his thing.
Hopping around, doing his stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it's that different. This was on the Wii, so I think this is basically what came between Super Mario Brothers and 64 and all that, and then the new one, Odyssey. So this was like what came out in between, and people liked
All
it.
I can think is how pissed I'd be because it went Wii U for like a minute and then Switch.
Yeah.
Gotta be so pissed.
Yeah, I know. Number 6 is easy to talk about since it's the Super Mario Galaxy #1.
Yeah, apparently, for the Wii once again. So if you're a fan of Mario's, apparently these Super Mario Galaxies are where it's at.
I think it's pretty much the same thing, but just out in space.
Wow, this is amazing. Number 5. I mean, and for the record, guys, I think you're hearing with this list, and I agree with this list, by the way.
Yes.
And number 5 is now the first one up to a 98. So I mean, I think the low on this was 95. So I mean, these are really stellar fucking games, every one of them.
Great games to play, all of them.
But we've seen some themes here. Mass Effects. You know, Mass Effect 2 specifically, but
that was in the
fucking you might as well play them all. Grand Theft Auto's all over the place. The Red Deads. There's just some themes here where these are clearly superior franchises.
Yes.
You know, so number 5 with Grand Theft Auto 4 for the Xbox 360.
Yep. Definitely gotta play it.
I mean,
Yeah.
They're great.
So it's definitely peaking at number 4 there. So I'm just curious. I wonder if there's any more Grand Theft Autos up here, but I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to be running out of them, right? But San Andreas, right?
Just to be clear, I'm not looking ahead. So I have no idea what number 1, 2, and 3s are. Number 4.
Number 4 for the Dreamcast. I've not played it on the Dreamcast.
Got your name written all over it.
I played the shit out of Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur is a fighting game with weapons.
Yep.
Soul Edge. Soul Edge was the first one, I think. And then they became the Soul Calibur series, and I believe now they are just the Soul Calibur series. In fact, I had the latest one on the PS4. I think it's Soul Calibur 5 or 6. I celebrate the entire catalog. They're Virtua Fighter. They're three-dimensional, meaning like you can go all over. We've actually played a little bit of these because they also are ring ones, meaning you can get knocked out of the ring, which I definitely did to your ass and enjoyed it. And they're just great fighting games. They are really cool to me because, and I don't know how they do this exactly. If you and I play this, you'll actually have, no pun intended, or maybe it is intended, but you'll have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Even though I'm going to be using technique and you're going to be bashing like crazy, this game, it kind of amounts to the same thing in the sense that there is technique you can employ, but button mashing takes you a real long way too.
Yeah.
Street Fighter, that doesn't really work, or Mortal Kombat, that doesn't really work. If you're just mashing on the buttons, I'm just going to whoop your ass.
I can attest to that.
This, if you're mashing on the button, you're going to do remarkably well. You're going to have no idea how you did anything that you did.
No, I can't repeat it.
But yeah, it can't be repeated, but you will do well. Phenomenal though. Phenomenal games. The weapons are fun as shit.
Yeah. It's just not it's not my caliber of game.
That's fantastic. Wow. That wasn't even that was just
It wasn't
weak.
even good.
Just
It
weak.
wasn't even good.
If anybody wants to write in and let Kevin know how much his jokes suck, please do.
I don't know. Timon seems to like.
No, actually, I'm waiting for the flood now. That actually, Kevin's awesome. You suck, Sean.
Yeah.
That too has merit.
I know. In fact, Timon hasn't commented in a week, and I'm like, "Are you okay with Timon? Timon, are you there?"
You know what it is? He's probably laughed himself to death.
That's true. It could happen.
From all your rape, your wit killed him.
Yes.
So now we're into top 3.
Oh boy.
And we didn't make
This
it
might
far.
be quick. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This might be really quick.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Grand Theft Auto 4 on the PS3.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, have you caught on, guys? Grand Theft Auto games, they kick ass. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just us. They're great games. Although, why is it we've only beaten Vice City? It's weird, isn't it?
Because it's the vibe. I think it's really the vibe. I really need to play the rest of
I was afraid Ray Liotta would come to my house if I didn't beat his game, so I
definitely
stuck with it.
Oh boy. Oh, another one for you.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the one I played the shit out of. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 for the PlayStation. Yep. Definitely. 1 and 2, like I said. This list is now dated, though, and in all fairness to Metacritic, it's because 1 and 2 wasn't out. But 1 and 2 would be, I'm willing to wager, to be top 10 now. Yeah. Not kidding. I mean, it's that good. If that's your jam.
It's at your jam, yeah. All right, so that's
So
number two.
number one.
Number one. He's a drum roll. It's going to be either a version of Tony. I'm predicting. What do you predict? I'm predicting either a Tony Hawk version
Yeah, fuck it.
or another Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I'm saying Grand Theft Auto. Money's on Grand Theft Auto
Yeah,
just because
on PC.
It's just a safe bet.
Yeah. I predict GTA 4 on PC. I'm not even sure
that's
there's
great.
a PC. Here we go.
Yeah.
It is no.
Oh.
Number
Did
one-
not see that coming.
No, that came out of nowhere. Number one Metacritic game with a 99 score of all time.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the 64 once again. Just want to point out, fucking great system.
Yeah, that's very represented on this list. The 64.
Yeah, it was, I'm not kidding, guys. I mean, again, I'm thinking of pulling mine out of its bin and putting it into regular rotation, but you're going to think I'm nuts too. The first time you hold a 64 controller, and let me rephrase it. The first time you try to figure out how to hold up a 64 controller,
Yeah. So how do you hold this thing? Grab in the middle, the sides.
you're going to be like, what in the hell is this?
Yeah, I think that intimidated me.
You get used to it weirdly. Like you do after a while, you get used to it, and you use it different ways. Like you play differently, you use it differently as a shooter than you do for other games. But you get used to it. But I'm not kidding. To this day, if you've got 4 people physically in the same spot, name the system that's better. And I know there have been systems that have that attachment that 3 people on Earth owned that allow you to hook up 4 controllers. But seriously, who the fuck ever did that? Nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
So, what system can you get 4 dudes together and?
ColecoVision? No.
No, although I had the Atari attachment from ColecoVision, it was awesome. But yeah, I got to say, at 64, I recommend it. The graphics are what they are. They're not, they're I guess it's classic rock, right? According to you.
It's in a gold box.
Yeah. Well, it's not an oldie.
Yeah.
But we're going to put it in the classic era. But yeah, it's the 90s, so it's classic. But those games, man, I'm telling you, they're a ton of fun. Zelda for certain. If you're going 64, though, and you're doing it solely for multiplayer, which is pretty much why you'd want to do it. Yeah. GoldenEye, if I haven't mentioned it, and I'm not kidding, guys, Monster Truck Madness. The game itself sucks ass. You don't even need to bother. But the multiplayer King of the Hill will keep you entertained forever.
That's awesome.
So that was a much, much better list, I have to say. Shout out to Metacritic for giving me a list of games I would like to play before I die.
Yeah, congratulations, Metacritic.
Yeah, this is far more reliable. I mean, I'll give a shout out to Two Beard Gaming too for keeping us entertained. But I'm gonna say I like this Metacritic list a whole lot more.
Yes, a lot of repeats, but that's how Metacritic goes. It's not it's based on stats than it is is a collection of everybody's opinions.
Yeah, well, we did in fact complete another list. So again, I just want to say as a reminder, though, I'm thinking at least for the near future, I think we need to play Tuesdays by ear, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we may not have shows, and that's just honestly, guys, just having trouble juggling it all these days. It's just there's a lot going on with work right now, and I'm trying to get ahead of it and failing miserably, but I'm trying real hard. So hopefully that turns around.
Trying real hard, Ringo.
I really am.
Me say it.
Yeah, I know. I am, though. And that's what I mean, too. I am. I'm trying real hard.
Real hard.
Trying real hard to be the shepherd.
Yeah.
So, any shout-outs? I mean, shout-out to Metacritic, obviously. Shout-out to Two Beard Gaming. And shout-out to you, Kevin, and all of our fans, of course.
Yes, and shout out to Reddit for finally letting me post my ad after about 30 failed attempts.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, and I'm going to actually take it easy on the audience for once, and I'll skip these last contact us, but I will say this. We now have a Patreon server. So, if this is your jam, one, you're awesome. Yes. I'm just throwing that out there. That's fucking great because it's our jam too.
Yes.
And we really love having you. But I can tell you point blank, all proceeds for the very foreseeable future are going right back into the show.
Definitely.
So, if this is your jam, if you're enjoying this, we'd love you for it. And if you have the means, if you don't have the means, you know what? We'd love you for listening. Yeah. That's okay. But if you have the means and the desire, we're not going to say no. and we will gladly take any support you can offer. So please, join our Patreon site, become a member, and again, we're going to try to sweeten that pot as time goes by as well.
That's definitely. As you can see from if you've been with us for the last 2 months, that we have put money into the show, and I devoted a lot of time into making sure the show sounds the best and looks the best as we possibly can. So I don't really foresee. I just need to focus now. Now that I got it sounding okay with the right mixer and the right headsets. Now I can focus on taking our design, which I already have a design that is in like super high-end TIFF format. I'm ready to send it to a designer to print out a few examples, and we'll start getting some merchandise.
It's awesome. Yep, and then even more fun ensues because one, I'll be decked out in toot gear all the time, but two, we'll actually have something to give away, so we'll be able to do giveaways.
Yes. Been dying to give things to people, especially the early adopters, the people who have signed on to our mailing lists. Those people deserve a little recognition for sticking with us since the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, we love you all too. So if trust me, I know a thing or nine about being a poor boy too. So if you're out there and you just don't have a dime to spend, but you love the show, you know what? That's great, and we love you, and we love you just as much as everyone else.
Definitely.
So yeah, don't let it get to you, because I can tell you firsthand, you can change that narrative.
Yes.
It might take a while, but you can do it.
Yep. I can tell stories.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I always say I don't like camping, because the concept of no electricity or running water or food, fucking been there, done that. Done enough camping this life, I'm good.
Yeah, it's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, like that's not novel to me. That's called, I call that childhood. Like, I don't have any desire to do that again.
What's that dish? Beef and macaroni, or what's it called? What's the hamburger helper? Hamburger helper.
Oh, hamburger helper. Okay.
Yeah, so my wife didn't grow up the same way as I grew up. She definitely, she said she had hard times, but when she graduated high school, her parents took her to Mexico.
Wait, let me pause there for a minute, though. I agree with her.
Yeah.
She did have hard times. That's the thing. Pain is pain. Suffering is suffering.
Yeah.
Her hard time was fucking Shangri-La compared to yours.
Yes,
but I get it.
But the reason why that's interesting to point out that her perspective is different than mine.
Yeah.
Even though she struggled, and she did, I give her credit for she did have some struggles. But when we first got together, I definitely had different struggles than her. And Hamburger Helper growing up was a necessity more than it was an enjoyable occurrence. So the wife considers Hamburger Helper something unique she never really had. So she gets really excited whenever I make Hamburger Helper.
Oh, that's great.
We get a bottle of Riesling, some high-end wine. I make the Hamburger Helper, and she's like delighted, like we're having this beautiful meal, and she thinks it's the greatest thing ever, high-end. And I'm like, no, this is...
We just got 50 Patreon subscribers for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. Yeah, so I love my wife, but she's nuts.
Dude, I don't... It's funny because, like, I would have loved Hamburger Helper, or just the hamburger.
The hamburger.
Or the helper. I wouldn't even fucking care. Like, any part of that equation would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all relative, though. Everybody struggles. It might have rained on her trip to Mexico, and
it probably did, because it rains. She's known as the rain, like, queen, because everywhere we go on vacation always rains.
Oh, that's funny.
They think she brings the rain with us, so she's known for that.
You know what I got when I graduated high school? A diploma.
Oh, yeah. I remember when my parents came. No, they didn't. They didn't come to my graduation.
They bought me or no, that wasn't me. That was
Yeah.
I used to make the joke that my mother made me eggs once, and my father fertilized them.
Oh, yeah. Still trying to terminate those eggs.
Here we are. That's the other tasteless joke. My mom, I have this stand-up act I've been working on for like 30 years, and no club's ever going to let me in, because one of my first thoughts is my mother was pro late-term abortion. I still remember her chasing me around the house with a metal hanger and me yelling, "It's too late! It's too late!
It's too late! You can't, no, it won't work." Yeah, and yes, I do think that's funny.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm a
It's
bad
hysterical.
person.
Yeah, I'm still going to hell.
Yes.
I find it liberating though. Once you've identified you're going to hell, you can pretty much say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Because whatever I'm going for, yeah, it's already happened.
Yeah, I want to at least deserve it.
Nothing to worry about. But yeah, I'm shooting for purgatory this go round. Anywho,
Yeah.
boy, quite the deep theological one. And well, dude, I don't care what that timer says.
Yeah.
We finished the list.
Yes, we finished the list. Yay. And we're having a break from lists. And I do have some good topics already lined up for Thursday.
I can't wait. And dude, I love talking to you. So, you know, I think we're kind of at the end here. So, fans, again, love you all. Thank you for all your support. And this is Sean.
This is Kevin.
That's the one other thing.
Good night.